Okay, balancing equations, example number 3. Again, I got a little head start on you, just kind of setting up my different sides, counting our atoms on each side. Carbon, we have 2. Hydrogen, we have 6. Oxygen, we have 2. Over here, carbon, we have 1. Hydrogen, we have 2. Oxygen, we have 3. First step, as always, well, after all this we've counted, we now leave oxygen and hydrogen for last, so let's balance our carbons. We can do that by putting a 2 right here, because we had 1 here and 2 here. We want to make those carbons equal, so that's going to make that a 2. It's also going to change our oxygens, because now we have 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 over here, so that's 5. So it's starting off kind of the same as our last one. Let's balance hydrogens next. We have 6 hydrogens here, 2 hydrogens here. What can we multiply by 2 here to get it? We need 2 times 3 equals 6. So we put a 3 right there. It's going to change our hydrogens here to 6. And our hydrogens here is 6. Look at that. We've already got carbon and hydrogen balanced. But don't forget, we got to change the oxygens again. Oxygen is going to change a lot. 3 times 1 is obviously 3. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So that's going to give us 7 oxygens. All right, odd numbers are always hard to deal with. Well, let's just find a way to balance it. We have 2 oxygens here and 7 here. 2 times what can give us 7? You always want to look into the easiest way to get from here to here. So if we multiply 2, well, you can always divide if you don't know. 7 divided by 2. See on your calculator, 7 divided by 2. I know this is reversed, but that gives you 3.5. So you could put a 3.5 in front of this oxygen, and that is going to give you 7 oxygens. And now everything is balanced, because remember, I said to find the simplest way to balance it first. Then, if you find out that you end up with a 0.5, with a non-whole number, what do you do next? You multiply all the coefficients, so 3.5, 2, and 3. You multiply everything times 2. Why do you do that? Because you want to get this to change to a whole number. And if you're going to change this, if you're going to multiply this by 2, you also have to multiply this by 2 and this by 2. Meaning, what are you going to end up with after you've multiplied everything by 2? You're going to end up with C2H6, but you multiplied everything by 2, so there should be a 2 in front of this, plus 7O2, and that's going to give us 4CO2. 4CO2, sorry, I'm writing kind of slow with my marker here. 4CO2 plus 6H2O, because you multiplied everything by 2 for that little oxygen over there, so that it could not be 3.5, so it could be 7. Now let's make sure we're balanced here. Carbons, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, because we have 2 times 2 is 4. Over here we have 4 times 1, 4 carbons. Boom, carbons are balanced. Let's look at hydrogens. Hydrogen, we have 6 here and a 2 here. 2 times 6 is 12. Let's look over here. We have 6 times 2 is 12. Boom, hydrogens are balanced. And finally, our oxygens, we have 7 times 2, which is 14. Over here, we have 4 times 2, which is 8. And then 6 times 1, which is 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. Our oxygens are balanced as well. So for example, 3, this right here, should be your final answer. Check your coefficients, see what you got, and we'll move onward from here. Hopefully those 3 examples helped. Go back and watch them if you feel like you need to. Alrighty, until next time, farewell.